Welcome back to Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the best from the world of CrossFit. Podcasts, news, special interest, health, fitness. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifier so you're the first to know when we have new episodes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Switzer. I am the Clydesdale. She is Kat Shear, and we are so honored to have special guest Jamie Latimer with us today. Jamie, how are you?
I'm great.
So, Jamie, I actually got to see you perform at the Masters Fitness Collective, and I've seen you forever in the Sevan chats. So it's super excited to formally meet you.
As well, same here.
So don't be nervous. I know this is your first podcast. You are surrounded by friends. The chat is full of your friends. We're just here to highlight you, what you're doing, and make you look good. That's our goal.
That's our
okay.
job.
Sounds great.
So first and foremost, most Masters athletes don't get to just be an athlete. So
True.
What do you do to support yourself in this endeavor?
So I, in October of last year, bought the gym that I've been training at. I started CrossFit in 2016, like right before Murph. I was probably 2 or 3 weeks in and did Murph and was immediately hooked. You may kind of know that about me, as I like the long, like body weight stuff. So like I loved Murph. So I started at a gym pretty close to me and was there for about 2 years, and then went about 20 minutes away to another gym, a little bit more competitive. And that shut down during COVID. And so I went back to like the original gym that I started at, that's closer to my house anyway. And then I started coaching there. And then
did you leave that other gym because you were knowing that you wanted to compete and you needed to be like, what made you leave that gym the first
Why
time?
did I go to the more competitive gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I was very interested in competing. And one of the girls that I trained with that was also at my original gym, she had gone over to that gym, and which was CrossFit Shift. They're great. They're back open now, but they're across town from me. Really, really great people. So yes, they were just a little bit more competitive, bigger gym, more people. I think they had a regionals team a few years prior. So that is why I went over there, to basically train with her and train with some of those people over there.
Got it. Okay. Sorry. Do you have YouTube open?
I don't. Is it?
Okay. Scott, do you? Do I? Maybe I do. I hear an echo. We good? It's gone. Okay. Continue.
Yeah, so that shut down during COVID. And then in the gym, my local gym, we kind of were able to be in the parking lot. So we kind of went that route. And last year, the owner wanted to move to Florida and kind of start a different endeavor. So I was kind of jumped at the idea to take over the gym and buy it. That's that. And at the exact same time, I also took over. I've been in real estate for, 13 years. And I got my broker's license last year as well, literally at the same time. All of this happened at once. My uncle was my broker, and he's 92. And so it was, as a family decision, it was kind of time for me to step in. He was kind of getting some dementia. And so right, like the same month I got my broker's license and bought the gym and took over the brokerage. It was really, really hectic.
Did you already have your level 1?
No, so we're not an affiliate. I know you guys are probably going to hate that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we're not an affiliate. We are a level method gym.
Oh, nice.
So
So you've taken this on recently in the last year. So you and Kat have a lot in common because she just opened her gym in
I saw that.
February.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're going through a lot of the same growing pains, but your gym was established.
Yes.
So you took over that clientele. And did you know a lot of the clientele when you took it over?
Oh yeah. Yep. And like I said, and since I had kind of been there 6 years prior, and there's still several of those people around too. So I knew all of them. And I would, even when I was at the other gym, I would still come and train. So my husband always stayed at the local gym. So I would still, come, there was times I would do 2-a-days. I would go train at shift and then come back to Redemption and work out there with them. So I had my foot in both places.
Do you have any desire to get your level 1?
Yes. And I would like to be an affiliate. It's kind of, it's like 3,000 for both to either be a level method gym or an affiliate. So I kind of have to choose which one I'm going to do. We don't have the income to do both. And I feel like I'm so like ingrained in the community that, I've read the level 1 handbook. Yes, should I officially get it? For sure. It's just $1,000 that I don't have.
Did your gym start out as a level method gym, or did they have to transition into that? Because I hear that can be really rough.
Transitioning into level method?
Yeah.
Yes. No, we were CrossFit Facta.
Okay.
So we were a CrossFit gym. And it kind of went from father to son. And then he basically dropped and went into level method. It was a bit of a headache. And it's weird. We're in a town where I kind of feel like people kind of shy away from CrossFit, or when they hear that, they're like, don't really want to do CrossFit. So I'm unsure if affiliating would be good for us. There's like 3 other affiliates right around us. So I feel like we do get some of the older clientele who are just like don't know what CrossFit is and are just looking for a gym. So I don't know, we're kind of in a good mix, but yeah, it's tough to add in the level method. You do so many assessments of people and they feel like they're in testing mode for like 3 weeks. It's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah. Do you want to explain for people that don't have experience with the level method what it is exactly?
Sure. There's a big map, and it goes from white all the way up to red. But black and red is kind of like the competitive side. So it really goes up to brown. So it's kind of like a jiu-jitsu white to brown belt. You're trying to earn your way up the chart. There's 15 different movements. And it goes from like pure strength or like deadlift and front squat, or body weight, like pull-ups and push-ups, to just cardio. There's a running, an aerobic, and running, rowing, and API, which is basically fight gone bad. So we do those like quarterly. We just kind of throw them in, especially like strength ones. You're gonna be hitting back squat or front squat or deadlift pretty regularly anyway. So we just throw it in like classes at this point, and it's just kind of a people are always going for 1 rep, so you just reassess. But yeah, it's a pretty nice feature. I mean, people are like, okay, well, I'm yellow. What do I need to do to get to orange, my next level? And especially people like, seems like rings and pull-ups are like big ones that people get hung up on. So it gives people something to shoot for especially like pull-ups.
Yeah, and it basically it allows people to know what they're doing, what progressions they're doing, or what how much weight they're going to do in a workout and things like that based on their level, right?
Yeah. So once we have all 15 colors, every workout has it kind of dumbs it down for coaches, I will say, because there's 6 levels written on the board. So there's a white workout, a yellow workout, all the way up to the brown workout. And I try to tell people when they come in, like, I might be doing Fran, but you're like, the whole point is that you don't get done in 10 minutes when I get done in 2-3 minutes. Like you're doing like 15, 12, 9. of bodybuilders and jumping pull-ups so that we finish at like the same time, because nobody wants to be the one out on the floor 10 minutes after everyone finishes. So if you have your correct color, technically the workout should be where we all finish right around the same time or get the same stimulus. But like I say it kind of dumbs down coaching. So you just step in and here's your color and this is what you're doing, and everyone should have the same stimulus.
So you decided at one point that you wanted to be competitive. What was it that happened, or what was that moment that told you this is something you could be competitive in?
I feel like I'm a super competitive person anyway. I kick myself for not starting earlier. My sister-in-law was doing CrossFit far before I ever started, like 2013. I think she had tried to get me to come to a gym, and I watched it on TV and I was like, I could totally do all that. And I was like, kind of like most people probably at the time, went in, tried it, and was like, I'm not paying $150 a month for that. Like I can do all of that at Planet Fitness or whatever it was. I think I was going to like Gold's Gym at the time, and I was like, I don't need that. But I kick myself for not starting way sooner. And I would say, so I started in like basically May of 2016. So 2017 was my first open, and I feel like I did like decent. And I was like, I guess I could be like decent at this if I committed to it. So I don't know. And I'm trying to think when the 35 category opened up, because it wasn't like that first year, but like, I was like, okay, well, I'm getting close to that. I should be good by then. Right. I don't know.
So, what you say, you're always competitive. Did you come from an athletic background?
Yep. So I ran cross country and track at Central Michigan. I actually only ran 1 year. It was just like overwhelming. I was on an academic scholarship, so I was like, this is too much. But I ran some college cross country and track. And then when I left college, I did triathlons for a couple of years. I actually coached a little bit of that at our local YMCA. So I did some triathlons, which was good for me because I was a terrible swimmer. I mean, terrible. Like my mom wouldn't let me out. I'm in Michigan, so we have all the lakes. I was like not allowed out of the boat without a life jacket half the time. So, and the last few like events that I've done that have had swimming, I've gotten like second or third. So the triathlon training helped immensely. So I did triathlons for 2 or 3 years. And then I don't know if you've been on my Instagram page. So right before I started CrossFit, I did a bodybuilding competition, like the bikini fitness. Oh man, that was not it. Like that, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like there's nothing but someone's opinion of you. Like you just stood up there and you're like, I just wanted to like do something. I was like, well, like, so I just get last for just standing up here. It's just your choice. Like, if we could do something, I think I could win. So that was not for me.
Well, and that just seems very, gosh, it's so subjective, right? It's one person's opinion.
Yeah.
And I can see where that can mess with your head.
Oh yeah.
Right. Did that happen to you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've always been like really self-conscious, but that was really hard. Like I did two shows and I was like bottom 3 or 4 in both of them out of, I don't know, 20 girls. And it's just like, it's hard. Like, I mean, and I get it. My body is not for everybody. I had a couple people say like, I've always been pretty muscular. And I did the bikini, which I guess is like maybe a little bit more like less defined. So I had a couple people comment and they were like, maybe you should have done the one up because your like shoulders are too defined. So I don't know, but I'm built the way I'm built and that's what it is. And I've always gotten a lot of comments on, especially my arms, and not much I can do about it. My body functions good. So
Yeah, you are getting a lot of comments now about your arms and shoulders. And I am jealous. If I had arms and shoulders like yours, I would be here shirtless, but I am not. So you decide you want to be competitive. You start doing the open. I think I looked through some of your numbers. You were 75th in 2019 in the open. And then in 20, you were 2,565th. Did you suffer an injury, or was there something that went on that year? COVID maybe, or?
No. So I had like fully torn labrum on my right shoulder. So I went through that open. I had gotten an MRI week 4 of the open, and they basically were like, and that was the one it was like the choose your own adventure wall ball ring muscle up row. And they were like, do not do ring muscle ups on that shoulder. And also I was flying to Vegas for my brother-in-law's 40th birthday that week. I was going to do it in Vegas. But they were like, just don't do it. They're like, you're going to need to get surgery when you get home. So I just didn't do it. So I didn't do the last workout.
Gotcha.
0.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so I had surgery December of 2019, because that was the fall one, right? That was the 1 year of the weird open. So I had surgery.
I try to forget about that one.
Oh, I know. That one was weird. Yeah. Which sucked for me because I got surgery in December, like late December. And then COVID was technically February. So right when I was starting PT, like they shut everything down. So I didn't even really get to go to PT. So I PT'd my own shoulder basically.
And then the open happened right away the next year. Like you didn't get a break, right? Was that the year that the open happened again in February? Right? No.
Well, 20, no. So 20.
Oh, there wasn't it was the October one. And then it was the games and the open that were close together.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So I got lucky that I had like a full year
big break.
So when you came in 75th, was that enough to tell you that you could actually be a games athlete?
I don't know. I feel like I've always been like, I think because I'm in such a like small area, it's, like people tell you you're good, but I don't mean, just because I win workouts at my gym doesn't mean I'm good. And I see that when I go to like these, that's kind of why I've been trying to sign up for like Legends and Masters Fitness Collective. Cause like, if I'm not, it's proximity bias. Like, I need to see other athletes at my level and see where I'm at or what I need to, I know for sure strength is what I need to work out. It is the one thing that I like keep coming back to, that where I don't think I can make it because I can't ever get out of the strength piece that shows up in semifinals it was okay in this semifinals. This one wasn't terrible, but really it's going to come down to programming for me.
How old are you now? What will you compete in come the next season?
So I'm 39. I just turned 39 in October.
Okay.
So I'll still be in the 35 to 39 for this year. And I feel like last year was like the closest I was going to get, which I don't know, 26 or whatever it was in semifinals. And I feel like so I just need to like basically stay injury free this year and then go for 40, right? That's kind of the plan.
I find it funny that as a masters athlete, you're like, you can't wait for 5 years or for 4 or 3 years to pass to get to the next level, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've still been like, I still sign up for the individual, just kind of see where I fall. But I think as I get closer to 40, like I'll probably start to drop off of trying to be even. It's just sometimes it's fun to see like where like those rope climb workouts or body weight stuff where I can actually fall in the world. You know, you got Rebecca Voigt Miller and some of those like big names still doing it. So it's like, oh, let's see where I fall.
So I want to talk about MFC a little bit. You won that competition. And I actually have the leaderboard up. So I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
And so can we see that? All right, here we go. So this, oh no, this isn't, this is Legends. This is Legends qualifier.
Yeah.
Hold on. I won. My bad. I am not good at this. I apologize.
Where's Caleb when you need him?
I know. We need someone on the back end. So there we go. So there you are in first place. So I was looking through and like you had two kind of outlier events and everything else was like top 4.
Yeah, the strength and the snatch and the probably the double the first event. I was super nervous.
Yeah, can you so speed kills was the first event.
Yeah.
And that was actually 2-minute clock, 1-minute rest. You would do a 9-calorie echo bike, 5-bar muscle ups, and then 3 snatches. Yep. So what did you end up with on that one?
I think I took first in the echo bike bar muscle up, but 8th in the snatch. Oh wait. So you had to hit 3 snatches in that 2-minute window, and if you didn't hit the very first event was the crossover with the jump rope and the handstand walk. I went too quick and fell on my handstand walk on the way back. Took a chance.
Yeah. What was your favorite event from MFC?
Probably the very last event, not the row, but although I think that was a decent pairing, but the like workout of the last event was probably my favorite.
The walking lunge and the 50 toes to bar.
Yeah, I love toe to bar.
So you've said you're more of a body weight athlete.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a strength athlete. So you like the gymnastic stuff too?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a background there?
I did do gymnastics I'm trying to think if like 8th grade. I went to the local gym here, actually. It's like the big, was like Twist Stars, which was the big gym that kind of had some issues here. If people know much about the Michigan area, gymnastic stuff.
A lot of gymnastics gyms had lots of issues.
Well, yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, but the one in Michigan was super famous.
Yes. And then I did like 2 years of gymnastics in high school. I was not good, but I do think it maybe helped a little bit of body awareness. I liked the uneven bars. That's kind of what I did. I was not good at like floor, like flipping and stuff. But yeah, so I have a tiny, tiny bit of gymnastics background.
So when I was looking at your Instagram and at MFC, there's a lot of pictures with another male athlete in an older division. And he's on your videos on YouTube, usually as your judge.
Yes.
So is that someone that is related to you or just a member of the gym?
Yep. He's just a member of the gym. So that's Jim Pieper. He was at the CrossFit Games this year. He got 3rd in the 65 plus. He's actually from CrossFit Shift. So when I went over there, we were always basically doing the Masters online qualifier workouts together. And then when he didn't really know where to go when shift shut down during COVID. So he kind of followed me over to Redemption, and he's been thriving. He's improved so much.
I remember him from the
Finish
first year.
games.
I remember him from the first year at MFC. He's been there a couple of years now.
Yep. We both came the last 2 years. So
he was he the guy doing the sideways bear crawl? Scott, I think he was.
There were a lot of
I
people
think he
doing the
was.
sideways bear crawl. So
Yeah.
I believe he was.
possible.
I mean, no shade.
I think
It
a
was good.
lot of people were.
Yeah. It's clever.
Older athletes are much smarter than the younger athletes,
Yes.
and they know how to game it when the loophole is there.
You got it.
They did. They went sideways bear crawl at an alarming rate, and I could not backpedal fast enough as a judge. Just saying. So that's cool. You both he won his division at MFC as well.
Yep, he won last year and this year. Although I think last year there was only like 2 guys.
Yeah.
In that older division, but yeah, this year, well, hip and steel with Drew. Otherwise, I think he may have won it. But yeah, he won this year, and we're both going to Legends.
So how cool is it that 2 people from the same gym are having this success now in the Masters division? Are you proud owner?
Yeah, yes, I'm super proud. It's something like, I mean, we did get a couple calls after the games and did a couple like local news, and Jim did a couple local news interviews. So it's cool. It's, gets a little bit of attention. I do think sometimes it scares people away. They walk in the gym and see Jim and I, and they're like, I don't know. I mean, I've had people like come in and be like, I don't want to look like that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're probably not going to, but
yeah, that's what you tell them. You say, it's really hard to look like this. We're trying to look like this, and you probably don't have it in you to do that. That's my least favorite comment ever.
I know.
And I get told that so many times from women, older women usually. Like, I don't want big muscle. I don't want to get too bulky.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to try really hard to get bulky.
Mm-hmm.
You got to eat a lot of food and lift a lot of weight. So you're probably good.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. So I also noticed in your videos, especially your open workouts, that you were always getting a kiss before you started the workout. I didn't know that was part of CrossFit's requirements. But in your submission video, is that your husband? I'm hoping not just a stranger off the street.
I'm trying to think. It's either my husband or my co-owner, Ronica. She usually gives me a hug before we start. I'm trying to think if I get kisses.
This was a kiss.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Does he have a big beard?
Yeah, well, he had a hoodie on.
Just say yes, Scott. Just say yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He has a big beard. Whatever you say.
Some guy off the street just came in. I didn't even know who he was.
So here, I'm going to tell you something. There was a guy cheating on his wife at MFC, competing at MFC, got a kiss from her on the sidelines. Someone snapped a picture of it and threw it up on the MFC Instagram page. That happened.
Yikes.
We took it down, but that happened for a hot minute at the MFC. Be careful.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne, a lot of shit happens in Fort Wayne. You never know.
Apparently what happens in Fort Wayne doesn't stay in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, so I actually, and she's gone.
Oh, we upset her. It's okay. Maybe she'll fix the echo from her computer now.
Yeah, and just for those in the audience, what it is her, because she doesn't have headphones.
Because she doesn't have headphones. Yeah, it's
our voice comes through her speaker and into her.
Yes.
But that's okay.
My voice
She's back.
And Scott's voice. It's all right.
I don't know.
So,
was that me?
I hope so.
We don't even know. It just poof, you were gone.
That was weird.
It's all good. We carried the show for a second.
So you win Masters Fitness Collective. Does that do much for your confidence going into Legends in the upcoming season?
I don't know. I feel like I, I don't know. I always question my fitness. Like it's just like, I think there's things that I know I'm like pretty good at. I'm pretty good at CrossFit. But I just, for me, it's like, I can't be confident and just be like, you can go here and you can be top 3. Like I'm super nervous for Legends. If it's heavy, which it kind of was last year, I don't even know if I'll be top 10. Like, and there's just a bunch of newer 35-year-olds in there. If it was all CrossFit.
Says the athlete that was top 10 last year when it was heavy.
Yeah, well, okay, so I guess the goal is to be top 10, but I don't know if I can podium unless like the workouts line up for me. And even then, I feel like there's different events that like bring out different people. And it's hard for me to be, I don't know why, it's just hard for me to be confident in my own fitness level. I mean, I was terrified at Masters Fitness Collective. Like I could barely do the last workout, like freaking out. And my husband's like, you're going to be fine. Like you just got to be calm. And I don't know. I don't know. I panic. I'm like, you're going to fail. You're going to let everyone down. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to take more events and more exposure to these bigger comps where I'm like, okay, all right, you can do this. But I don't know. I just constantly question my fitness.
So yeah, for our listeners, you finished 9th last year at Legends. So you were in the top 10. It was a heavier event. There was some weird isn't that when they introduced the tsunami bag and
Yep. That was okay. That event was okay. I didn't like that. So we were supposed to have a run, which I would have loved. And they got rid of the run and added another row component. So we had 2 row events. And I'm a decent rower, like, because my cardio is good, but like the one event was just like sprint on the row, and that's straight high power output. And I'm what always seem to be one of the smaller people at these things, so it's like I can't compete unless you throw a bunch of gymnastics in there to try to hold some of those people back and like even out the workout. I can't compete with that.
Well, because it's being done by Mayhem Athlete, I think you can probably be a little optimistic that it's not going to be the same type of workouts, that it will be a little more balanced. They're not really known as a strength.
Do we know
programming.
that? Or is Mayhem programming it?
I don't know. It says it's
Bob Jennings.
It's brought to you by me.
Yeah, I kind of think Bob had a heavy hand in it.
I don't think Mayhem's doing it. I think Mayhem is providing the facilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to Legends this year.
Mm-hmm.
There are some names on the I looked at the qualifier leaderboard. I'll try to pull that up as well. I think it is this one. Here we go. Yeah, there are some names on this list.
Yeah.
Amy Morton is big in this division. Colette Casey is a beast. Are you excited to go up against some of these names and see where you're at?
Yeah, I was really, really excited to see Allison at Masters Fitness because she's very newly 35. So I was like
fresh.
Yeah.
And she took second, correct?
She did take second. Yeah. I think I got lucky with a few things. But I think she's going to be maybe unbeatable at for me. I think Amy's got a real shot at winning the thing at Legends. I think Allison will be right up there. So yeah, I don't know. It makes me makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. And Colette Casey won Wadapalooza last year.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to head down there?
No.
Bruce is asking.
No. Yeah, they've asked that. I like kind of looked at it last year, and I just don't think they do a good job for Masters. Like, I can only afford to go to like one, maybe two comps. I mean, Fort Wayne's only a 2-hour drive for me, so that's easy choice for me to choose that one. But I could basically do one more event, and I would hands down choose Legends over Wadapalooza any day of the week. Like, you get like no swag at Wadapalooza. It costs more money to enter. You get like 4 or 5 events instead of 9 or 10 or 11, however many that we're getting. Like, I just feel like you're a second-hand citizen compared to the top elites that they bring out there. So I have no plans to do Wadapalooza.
Yeah, I think Wadapalooza hits people 2 different ways. I've heard a lot of people say it like you do. And then there's people, I think, that just like the party atmosphere of it and being out on the floor with the techno music and the lights and all of that. But
they definitely do a great job with like the novice divisions and things like that. It's a great opportunity for people that are sort of serious about competing, but aren't, nearly at that stage yet, that can compete and go and throw down and get a t-shirt and be on TV and have a real judge and all that. But yeah, I would imagine that sort of athletes that are in that mid-range Masters group, that it's probably more hassle than it's worth in terms of that. It makes a lot of sense what you say, Jamie, about having to spend the money and where you're going to allocate your funds and where you're going to get your biggest bang for your buck, and that's probably not it, unless you love chaos and then go to Miami. But
so, have you ever been to Cookeville?
Never.
Oh, I love it.
It is. I'm still trying to find a way to go.
You should go.
Legends.
Yeah.
I want to go and just stay.
Yeah,
so nice. I love it.
I think if I could pick anywhere to live in the country other than my home right now, it would be Cookeville.
Yeah.
I love it there. It is the coolest little town.
Yeah, I think I'll really like it. My business partner, Veronica, who owns the gym with me, she's been a few times, and I know she's like, you're gonna love it when you get there.
Yeah, there's a part of town. It's called Old Town. And it's like the buildings are like from the 1920s, and there's a donut shop there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm not even a donut fan, but those donuts were amazing.
I'm pretty sure I went into a diabetic coma that weekend. I was warning people. I'm like, if I pass out, just tell the paramedics, like, I need some insulin, because that's all I was eating for a couple of days. It was bad. And
that's
bad
where I met my
good.
business partner.
Yeah. At Cookeville?
That's where we met.
Yeah. We met.
This way. We met.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were both working the Mayhem Classic.
Okay.
Back in right before the pandemic.
Yep.
And that's where we met.
Yep. So the girl that I trained with pretty heavily went to the Mayhem Classic.
Who was that?
Selena Poppert.
Okay. That was a nice event. It was really nice for some of those fringe athletes to get some. That was, I think, the first time that we saw like Danielle Brandon in person, Colton Mertens, all these big names now that you hear about that sort of broke onto the scene there. That was cool.
Jeff Adler, that's where I met him. That was so much fun. But I have a question about that. Like, in that year, they did a ruck run through the hills of Tennessee. Would you love to see that as one of the events?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
And a swim, right? Give me a run and a swim, and Jamie's good to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to swim in Seniors
Seniors
Pond in December. But yeah, the ruck run was famous. The athletes loved that back then. And I think it'd be a cool element to add again because of the topography of Cookeville and it being in the mountains. It would be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know what the weather's like there, but
yeah, it's better
chilly.
than us.
Yeah,
it's snowing.
Right.
Yeah. I have like 2 inches of snow here.
Well, the Mayhem Classic was in December, right? When it happened.
It was
December,
February.
early January.
Yeah, January.
Early January.
Yeah, and it
So
was chilly, but it wasn't like snowy, blustery or anything.
Yeah.
No. That could work. That'll be fun. I'm excited for you. How does MFC compare to Legends in your mind? Since you've been to both now.
Good. I mean, you get the extra day at Legends, so it's a little bit more, you get a couple more workouts, one more day, which I personally like. I like the volume over time and seeing how people hold up. But I mean, I've really liked Masters Fitness Collective both years. I feel like the programming's been pretty spot on. Well, for me at least. Like I loved this year's programming.
Awesome.
Is it harder to train now that you're not an affiliate owner, but a gym owner? Is it harder to train?
Yeah, it is.
Harder to find that time for yourself.
Yeah.
So what tools do you put in place to make sure that happens?
Nothing really. I just
no tools.
No.
Muddle through.
I mean, so Jim and I, we kind of call it like master's class. It's open gym from noon to like 3 basically. And that's when Jim and I are there. And most people are, I mean, everyone that comes to our gym realizes that Jim and I are extremely competitive. So if they come at noon, I mean, they kind of realize that I'm going to be training like my own stuff. I mean, I try to help. I try to kind of get them rolling, but that's my time. So if you choose to come in at that time, you're kind of on your own.
That's got to be hard because as a coach and an owner, I'm sure you care about your athletes. But you have to have that me time to be able to function as a coach and an owner.
Right. Yeah. And with like being the level method, when I do a lot of the onboardings to try to get all our new people that sign up, all their colors. And I feel like that's usually at either 11 or 3. And so I'm like trying to like get them through it so I can start training or wrap up my training so I can start them. So, and not everyone's schedule aligns with mine. Not everyone can come in at 11. And so then I have to change if I had to come in at 5:30 p.m. and do their one-on-one. Just, some of my days are longer. There's days that we don't eat dinner till I feel terrible. I feel extremely selfish. I have a 15-year-old son. And sometimes we don't eat dinner till 7:30, 8 o'clock. But there's nights that I have to coach a couple of the classes, 4 or 5 p.m. My husband doesn't get out of GM. He works at GM, General Motors. They've been working like 10 and a half hours. So he'll sometimes have to go to the 6:30 p.m. class. So then he doesn't get home till like almost 8. So it's just, I don't know. They're understanding, but yeah. It's hard. You feel like not the best mother.
Well, I didn't mean to go down that road. But I know, like, I talk to Kat sometimes and she's like, I've had a bag of popcorn today and that's it. Right. Like, and that is her nutrition for the day because of how busy it is trying to get her people taken care of. So not only do you have your training time, you have nutrition that you have to think about at the same time. So how do you squeeze that in? Or is it just you ram it in wherever it goes?
Yeah. The days that I coach, so I usually coach Monday, Wednesday. And so I'm there from like 11 to 6:30. I try to bring a lunch with me. I will say we are located in a like shopping complex kind of thing. So we have Kroger right in our complex. So I guess in a pinch, I can walk over there and grab, they have those meals that you can microwave like right up front, or Perfect Bars or whatever is over there. So in a pinch, I can just run over there. Sometimes I don't know. I usually just have like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a smoothie or something over at the gym. But I'm pretty bad about lunches. So I try to eat a big breakfast. And then since I know I'm just going to kind of be moving, I don't like to work out on much food. So it's just, I just won't, I eat like 2 dinners, and when I get home, I really, really eat a lot at dinner time. So I could be better about my nutrition. That's always been a tough spot for me. But I don't know.
I think that has been a huge adjustment for me. Is I work out at noon every day as well. I use my lunch hour to do that, so I have family time in the evening, and I do not like to work out with food on my stomach. It does not settle well for me. I don't feel good when I do that, and so it's been an adjustment since I've switched to this. Like, how do I do breakfast? When do I get it in so it's gone before I go?
Yeah.
And then and then I usually don't eat till 2 or 3.
Yep.
So do you do 3 hours every day? Is that your...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's, like everyone says, it's like super broken up, like, like 20 minutes of this lift, break 15 minutes, 20 minutes of this lift, and then like 1 or 2 Metcons. So I'm a big proponent of our coaches doing our programming. So I try to sometimes combine my programming with the gym's programming, but on the days that doesn't really line up, I still try to do we have a couple people that come into noon. So I still try to do noon, like our level method programming with class. Cause I don't like coaches that haven't done the programming, don't have any insight on how it's going to feel or what to do. So sometimes I use it as a warm up and I'll kind of pace it really slow. And then I follow Training Think Tank. So, and then I do all that stuff basically from 1 to like, I try to cram that in about 2 hours, 1 to 3.
So you have a 15-year-old son. Does he work out at all or come to the gym? Cause when my daughter was that age, she was good from 12 to like maybe 14. And then it would have taken an act of God to get her into the gym.
Yeah. So yeah, he does not like it. I feel like it's always been a struggle to get him. I went to California for Not Legends for a different comp and dragged him out there for that one. And he like hated it. He never wants to come watch me work out. Like I don't know. He doesn't quite have that same competitive drive that my husband and I have. He just started he's done tennis now for 2 years and that's going really well. And his 2 buddies that are on the tennis team, their parents both were like kind of encouraging them to come work out. And so about 3 weeks ago, his 2 friends signed up for the gym. So so they've been coming like 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We usually try to get them in. Saturdays are like our partner. So that has been great. And it's like awesome to see him in there actually like smiling during workout. Cause I would drag him sometimes and like, he would just like be angry the whole time. And now it's like actually fun. Like, they kind of play off of each other. Like, how many wall balls did you get? And so it's really, really nice seeing him in there with his 2 friends. So I don't know, maybe that'll give a little fire under his butt. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like me and my best friend, and he's 49 and I'm 52. And we are, how many wall balls did you get? Yeah, we're the same way. It never changes. So I want to talk about the Sevan community. You're a big part of that. You have a ton of friends over there. I looked at your Instagram from MFC and your selfies, other than Kyle Ruth, because he's a TTT guy too, were with Gabe from
Travis,
Paper Street Coffee,
Gabe.
Travis from Vindicate.
Mhm.
Like, it was all the people that were in the Sevan community.
Mhm.
How much does that group mean to you?
They're like my own little family. Like, I feel like that, like, I mean, I feel like that's who the people that are going to get on and watch this is like those people that have like kind of heard my name in there. It's huge. Like, seriously, I get like during the games, Elise would message me and like, give me congratulations for Jim. Like, they are awesome. They are truly like a little family.
It's so cool.
How hard is it to miss a day of being in that group?
It is hard. And I feel like and I try to get to the gym by like 11:30 and he's here. So like when he starts his 10 a.m. ones for us, I'm always like, oh, can I stay on and watch or do I need to get there? Like, it's hard because you want to keep watching. You want to stay in the chat so you can like chat with people. Otherwise, you're just going back and watching it and you feel like you missed out on everything. So yeah, it's tough. Like, I mean, I feel like I have no life other than the gym and watching the podcast.
Do you ever get mad too when you like watch it back if you haven't seen it live and there's like things that you want to say and you can't say it because they're not in the chat anymore? It's like,
Yes.
damn it, I missed my
And
opportunity.
I don't waste my time like leaving a comment on the video that's already posted because nobody's gonna go back.
I just text Sevan. I'll text him all the time because he knows when I'm watching. Well, if I'm not in the chat, I'll watch it later, and I'll send him like some random text about like 3 episodes ago, like correcting him the way he said somebody's name or doing whatever, and he's like, "Thanks, Kat, appreciate that." Like, I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah, I was behind today because of a meeting at work, and I kept reaching over to type something in the chat, and I'm like, shit, they're like 20 minutes ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't make sense what I'm commenting on now. And I had to just stop and be like, whatever.
Yeah, I've done that too. Yeah, it's hard. It's every day. It's like, I mean, some days 2-3 times a day, you're like, all right, I gotta have a life outside of this.
Yeah, I get anxious when I have like a 10 o'clock client, 10 a.m., which is 10 a.m. on our time.
Yeah.
It's that 7 a.m. start time. And I'm always like, oh man, I'm not going to be, I gotta watch it later. I can't be live.
Yeah. And then like the weekends, like with Zalos games, you're in there, like you've totally given up your weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually had to be in Grand Rapids for my niece's Sweet 16. So I did miss a little bit of that. But like Sunday I was able to watch it on the drive home and but yeah, I did feel left out of that one a little bit.
So I am trying to pull up, speaking of Zalos, I saw some of your workouts, and I wanted to show people that you actually were doing the Zalos games.
Yep.
So I'm going to mute this, and share screen. How has it gone so far? I've seen 3 of the videos.
Yeah, I wasn't like super happy. I wasn't really happy with this one. I mean, it was okay. I've got to get better at my endurance on muscle ups. I think my shoulder still is like, I'm nervous. And I partially think that's part of my issue with snatches is I'm still just scared to like get under the bar and catch heavy weight. So this one was gross.
Okay, so that was 1-1. It looked awful, like watching it, even when the athletes in Vegas were doing it.
Yeah.
So here is the 3rd workout.
Well, this is my snatches.
This is really the beginning. So.
Yeah, this one did not go good. I should probably redo it. But I'm not going to. I'm a one and done girl.
How frustrating is it when you want to redo a workout? Like, do you beat yourself up for like ever?
I mean, I guess it sort of depends on what it's for. Like I wanted to do this for the community. Like this, what a great opportunity. That's Veronica.
You're like, get away,
Well,
back off.
they can't touch the weights in this one. I'm like, you can't help. But yeah. Sometimes I just try to tell myself like, all right, you're just doing this to get, again, like kind of see where you fall on a leaderboard, get some experience. And this one was actually fun. This one was like, I mean, it was really gross, but fun. And short. And I just literally before we got on the podcast, I just did number 4.
Oh, nice.
Well,
yeah. So
I learned one thing about you today, Jamie, and that is that your idea of fun and mine are way different.
I mean, I don't like thrusters. Like the thrusters and snatches are probably like the 2 things I don't like to do. I'm a slow squatter. I've got some back issues that I will never really probably be able to do anything about. They said like basically fuse my back, but so I just feel like I'm slow and controlled in squats, which is why I didn't win the thruster row climb 1 at MFC because I'm slow at thrusters. It was heavy for me, but yeah, I lost that one in the last 2 thrusters. She was so fast at thrusters.
Are you're consciously like cautious?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it just hurts. Like, well, I have a spondylolisthesis in my L5 S1.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they basically told me not to ever lift anything heavy, but doctors don't know. So I'm going to, like, it's kind of like everyone has dysplasias, right? Like things like that. So, but yeah, I feel like I have to be in really perfect position to not get like an extra butt wink. My femurs I'm short, I'm only 5'3", but my femurs are long and I do not have good like body portions for squatting. So yeah, I have to be really conscious about how I sit down into that squat.
Well, I just wanted to show a couple of these videos so that people can see that you are a savage.
Thanks.
And even though you may lack the confidence, I have all the confidence in the world that you're going to have a great time at Legends and that you're going to do really well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I want to thank you so much for jumping on with us, Jamie. It's been a treat getting to know you over these past few weeks and getting to see you live at MFC, dominate and get the win there. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been surreal, like people reaching out and even, it's just like, who am I to have people even like care about anything I do? So it's like you reaching out was huge. Like I super appreciate it.
Well, we loved having you on.
Yeah. If you could just hang on after this video, but to everybody else, we'll see you next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast.